That's the chief blessing. The Bible says, and God said, we thank God for putting his mighty hand in delivering us from slavery. When I was a little boy, the big hero was Jackie Robinson. Before that was the NBA, before that was NFL, it was baseball. Jackie Robinson came into white baseball. I say white baseball because it was, so there were 3 leagues. There were 4 leagues. African American leagues, called Negro leagues, white leagues, called major leagues, Latin American leagues, and Japanese leagues. They were white, black, Latino, and Japanese. So when we joined the white league, we didn't know how good baseball could be until everybody could play. We didn't come to the Dodgers to learn how to play baseball. We came starting. We had Jackie Robinson, Don Newcomb, and Campanella, 3 black players. We figured we could win it, but we would lose to the Yankees every year. There's 6 games, 1 or 4 games or 3 or something. 1955, we thought we could beat the Yankees because we had Sandy Koufax and Drysdale. In the 4-game series, Yankees couldn't beat 2 of them. But on the day of the big game, the Super Bowl game, Koufax wouldn't pitch. So what's wrong with you? So that's Yom Kippur Day. I can't play baseball on that day. That's the day the Lord delivered us. So no ball game, no thing, no money, no private joy is greater than our promise to God and our thanks to God for delivering us from slavery. Our deliverance tends to mean, ham, mocks, and greens on January 1st and a ball game. But God delivering us from slavery that's the Super Bowl of freedom. How many of you knew your grandparents? Raise your hand. Knew your grandparents? Raise your hand. Knew your great-grandparents? Raise your hand. Great. You kind of laugh because they are blur. In the first book of Matthew, David to Jesus said 42 generations. Jesus knew 42 generations. We stop at 5. So Jesus quotes David. He's 42nd degree, his lineage. Moses, 2,000 years older than David. So Jesus talked to Moses like he's his granddaddy, and Joseph was his dad. Now I want y'all to follow me now. For us, slavery is a kind of blur. See, if I do not know what the Lord delivered me from, I don't know how to thank him. See, thanking God for a new car, a new suit, and a trip ain't quite like thanking God for freedom from slavery. In 1619, we were brought here in shackles. Not for freedom, but for shackles. He was without an identity. And the worst thing they did was they erased our memory. they erased a memory. When I was a little younger, Grandma would be in there humming. And I didn't know why she was humming. She was not a songstress. She'd just be humming. She said, "Sounds a language Deborah can understand." She'd just be, no organ, no piano, no riffs, just be humming. I know she could think, though she acted like she was a scholar. She could count like she'd be making breads, count X amount of grains of salt, X amount of grains of sugar, a little flour. Like she was counting grains. She had to be a mathematician because it always come out just fine. And that's why she would shout without, see, Grandma could shout without organ. See, if I think about the goodness of God, I can thank God for his goodness. But if I can't think, I can't think. If I can't think, I can't shout. Many of us got PhDs in irrelevancies and trivialities. She could think about how she had come out of slavery. See, if you can think about God, really think, you can really think. Let me put this another way. Someone turn the fan off, please. Turn that off, please. Now, this is not a shouting sermon, Melvin, because it seems to me that I believe in good gravy. It says shouting is not gravy. Shouting is overflow. Shouting is not good gravy. But unless good gravy has a meat base, it's just greasy water. Say gravy must have a meat base or it's just greasy water. So I'm trying to little meat base in. When the Constitution was written in 1776, we had been here 157 years already. So we were here before the Constitution. Declaration of Independence was written in 1789, so we'd been here 12 years before then. So we were here. We're not at the bottom of the nation. We're at the foundation. Now, y'all, that's a difference. So the bottom is where you end up. Foundation is where you start from. In other words, if you had a little condominium and you were on the 35th floor, and a stiff wind blew the roof off, you would be upset because the roof was off. But folk on the other floors, they wouldn't be upset. But if there was a Katrina at the bottom, everything would be shook up. See, when the foundation shakes, everything shakes. We're not the bottom, we are the foundation. That's why we're the issue. The biggest discussion in 1789 was what should we do with them? What should we do with them who have driven our industry cotton to the top of the world? What should we do with them? So Africa provided three things. Take notes. So Africa provided three things. The shipping industry for 250 years. It provided resources from Africa and cheap labor from Africans. So our foreparents are not slaves. They're our ancestors. They're slaves to conqueror. And my great-great-great-grandmama is not slave. I mean, she is my great-great-grandmama. Say my great-great-great-grandmama. It's my great-great-grandmama. She's not my slave. So I should never again refer to her as slave. You bear with me a minute? The king was Cotton. The South wanted to break off and form a whole new nation of cottoning us as labor and shipping clerks. So the shipping clerks founded Harvard, Princeton, Yale, and Columbia, and Georgetown. That's what's coming out now and breaking out in news today, breaking news. And then they went a step further. So when we established our preeminence as cultivating cotton, we became valuable. But more valuable to our oppressors than to ourselves. See, if today we've gone from picking cotton balls to picking footballs and basketballs and don't own our services, we just shift and pick it. "32 NFL football teams, right? We own none. "32 basketball teams, we own none. Basketball teams, we own one. And turn cotton into textile into clothes, and ship them. We could only pick it. We couldn't develop. So picking footballs and basketball ain't bad. If we can't own it, nothing's changed but the product. Slavery. Illegal to learn to read or write. Slave master got caught raping one of our women. She was his comfort zone. She was his experiment. The husband, or the man, because couldn't have a husband, said marriages and family was illegal. So if he had sex with his daughter or with his wife, he could do nothing about it. There was not one rape technically in slavery. To beat a man, it was his property. So if they beat the man, they could not protest his property. So you end up with one family with 4 children, 2 of them very dark and 2 of them very light skinned. Look around our complexions in this room. We do not look like Nigerians, like we're from Benin. We look like we're landing in New Orleans. So our hair is different. Our skin color is different. So we are a people not based on color, but culture and relationships. So it's all right to a dark-skinned Negro marry a light-skinned lady and vice versa, because we are a people not based upon complexion, based upon culture. Jack and I have 5 children. All 7 of us are different colors. And no one, it doesn't affect anybody. So nobody in the house is affected. 7 people in the same house, all different complexions. That's the lineage of slavery. Use black men to have sex with black women, to make other little slaves. If they were sick, throw them away. If they were strong, put them to work, or sell them. You make a boy, and they sell your son. You can do nothing about it. You had no right in court. So strong boys picked cotton, were sold to the neighbor plantation. Remember Strom Thurmond some years ago, this lady, Miss Washington, went to South Carolina State. She was Strom Thurmond's daughter. They finally put her name on the statue in South Carolina a few years ago. So young black girls were comfort zones and experiment for slave masters.